What's up everybody, and welcome back to the channel. In today's video I have the keys to this 2022 Jeep Wrangler. Big shout out to Feeney, Chrysler, Jeep, Dodge, and Ram for providing this new Wrangler for today's video. Take a look at their website linked down below. And the model that we're looking at today is the Willys 4x4, finished off in Hydro Blue Pearl and has an MSRP at $48,000. Underneath the hood of this two-door Jeep Wrangler, you're going to find the 2-liter inline 4-cylinder turbocharged engine. It pumps out 270 horsepower with 295 pound-feet of torque, and it's paired to the 8-speed automatic transmission. This is a 4-wheel drive vehicle. Curb weight is around 3,900 pounds, and running on a 17.5 gallon fuel tank, you're looking at 22 miles per gallon in the city with 24 out on the highway, and it can even tow 2,000 pounds. Overall length is 166.8 inches with wheelbase at 96.8. Height is 73.6 inches with width at 73.8 inches. Of course, the Jeep Wrangler is an off-road focused SUV with approach angle at 41 degrees, breakover at 25 degrees, ground clearance is at 9.7 inches, and departure angle is 36 degrees. And then now moving on to the exterior styling with the 2-doors Jeep Wrangler Willys. This is a really cool design, especially with the blue paint and the gloss black accents. Up front, you can see the LED headlights. They got a really nice LED ring with the projector beam right in the center. You also get a daytime running light on the front of the front fenders. Really nice design. Full plastic front bumper finished off in black. Then you get some gloss black trim and your LED fog light bulbs down below. There's 2 metal tow hooks on the top portion of the bumper. Then you can see the gloss black grille. Of course, we have the traditional vertical slots right in the center for any Jeep. Really clean the way everything is laid out. And I love just how low the overhangs are to where you can see the tires and the underside. You can see the width of these front fenders, and then we get the manual hood latches to unlock it to open up the hood. You can see the exposed hinges as well as these rubber bumpers in the center portion of the hood. That way you can safely fold down your windshield. There's also a really sharp body line in the center of the hood. Then you can see the name Willys is written out on the side in that satin black vinyl. Moving to the side profile, we get a set of 17-inch wheels finished in satin black. You even get the old school Jeep design on it, and they're a 5-spoke design with an off-road tire wrapping them. You get the plastic black for the fender flares in the front and in the back. Then you get a set of rock rails down below to protect the bodywork. Behind the front fenders, you get a blacked out Jeep and Wrangler logo, a really cool trim piece with some body contours. You can see some more exposed hinges on this piece, and then all blue around the windshield surround. This gets plastic black for the door handles as well as the side mirrors, and then the optional 3-piece hardtop removable plastic roof. This is a really short and stubby vehicle, not being the unlimited 4-door, has that classic boxy design and stands out as a Jeep. We get water channels on the top portion of the roof and a really large rear window. There's also a sharp body line going underneath the windows all the way towards the rear taillights. Really good looking Jeep all around. Moving to the back, you can see the red housings for these taillights with some black surrounding them. We have more exposed hinges for the swing gate, 4-wheel drive stickers on the back. Then we get a plastic black bumper just to match the front. You can see the trailer hitch connections and the hitch itself right in the center, along with a metal tow hook. And even in back, you can see the red coloring on the rear shocks, as well as the solid rear axle. And then we get a full-size spare tire right in the center, same color and everything. Backup cameras located right in the center. We get the third brake light up top that is adjustable for larger size tires, and then the release handle in back and an exposed gas cap on the left. So there's a good look at the exterior with this 2022 Jeep Wrangler Willys. I gotta say, you don't see too many of the 2-doors, so it's kind of nice to see them, especially in a brighter color. They just have that small, stubby, fun to drive size. They look pretty cool. So we have Jeep's key fob, pretty typical as you would expect. We do get remote start for this 4-cylinder. I double tap on that button. The little turbo engine is gonna roar to life. Super quiet. It'll be interesting to drive this later on. Tapping the button once, it'll shut off. And then all I have to do is grab the door handle and then it automatically unlocks and we can check out this interior. This particular model gets a black fabric interior with some of the technology upgrades. If we move our way to the door panel now finished off in black, we get a nice armrest right here with some padding and a grab handle. Then there's another grab handle on the underside to help you when you remove these doors. There's also a large cargo net down below, lock and unlock with your mirror controls and the release handle itself. You can see how everything is laid out. This is where the connection is. You can unplug it from in here to further assist removing the doors. And then these are full manual control for the seats. We have our recline as well as the up and down. Then you can adjust this one for your rear lumbar. Very simple black fabric design. Pretty flat, you got a little bit of a bolster on the bottom and then a little bit on the back. Moving our way up, all black stitching just to make these very simple looking. We do get a black leather steering wheel, 3-spoke with Jeep right in the center. And then now inside, keep my foot on the brake, we can go ahead and fire it up. You get the really cool depiction from the old school Jeep turning into the new one right in the center LCD screen. We do get an analog tack on the left as well as your transfer case. Then we get the speedometer over on the right side. Fuel and temperature is right in the center. We have this touchpad to adjust everything you see in the center screen. If I scroll up and down, you can see all the different menus. You can see your start-stop information, audio can come up, messages, and then the screen. Going back to the first one, we have the digital speedometer, vehicle information. You can scroll through a lot of the things that pop up telling you all about the vitals within this truck. And then continuing down, we have off-road. You can see pitch and roll, as well as that transfer case. Then we also have fuel economy and some trip information like that. On the right side of the steering wheel, we've all the cruise control settings and some Bluetooth and audio controls. Radio controls and volume are on the back side of the steering wheel itself. And then on the left side, the stalk is for your turn signal as well as the high beams. Then all the wiper blades are on the right stalk. We get all of your headlight controls on the left, along with the interior dimming, one of the air vents, some nice black trim, and 2 speakers up on the top. And you also get a little bit of storage. We get some silver trim on the farthest right side, as well as a Wrangler written out on the handle. And then we get the 8.4-inch touchscreen display. This is the optional screen you get. Really nice size. You can see the Sirius XM as well as all the audio. All of your climate controls come up, different fan speeds. Super easy, you can adjust everything. We have controls here that can come up for the heated seats as well as steering wheel. Backup camera, you can just toggle to take a quick look at that and then exit out. We also have the apps right here. You can adjust what you see. We have off-road pages. You can swipe over to see more things. Navigation screen will come up as well. Phone integration, and then your settings. So if we go into the off-road pages now, on this page you get a really cool depiction for your transfer case, which gear it's in, your actual longitude and latitude coordinates. You can go into your accessory gauges and monitor everything. You have pitch and roll that comes up as well. So really nice to see how you can really monitor things when you are off-roading. And of course, when you put it right into reverse, that backup camera is going to automatically pop up. So then underneath that, we do get physical climate control, same with the heated seats and steering wheel button. You have your fan speed in the center, that'll come up on the screen, off and auto, dual zone temperature. Your volume on off is on the left, tuning and scrolling on the right. Then we have the downhill cruise control system button, traction control, engine start stop. And then we have your 2 window controls right in the center, automatic down. You can easily lift it up to go back up. We have a 12 volt on the left side, then a media icon on the right with some USBs and the auxiliary. We also get extra auxiliaries if you want to add lights or winches to this Jeep, and then a little bit of storage. And then we get our shifter control with that same old school Jeep design, a little bit of leather around the shift boot. And then this is your transfer case shifter. We have 2 high, 4 high auto, part-time, neutral, and then they 4 low. This is basically a manual selector to go right into the different transfer case gears. We have a manual park and brake as well as 2 cup holders and a storage spot for a cell phone. And you can lift this center console up. We get a little bit of extra storage. You can grab the lower button, and then we have a lot more storage with a USB port. And a really cool design in the bottoms of each of these. If we go over to our lockable glove box, you got a pretty good little bucket in there. And then one last look at the interior. This is the JL generation Wrangler, which is the current generation. Nice and sporty in here. You know, it's nothing fancy or luxurious, but it does get the job done. You get enough technology, pretty comfortable to sit in so far. And then you can see up top, we get 2 speakers and dome lights, the white coloring on the back side of the roof, and then all the spots that you can unlock it to remove the 2 front panels of this roof, and then you can obviously take the back off. And then to gain access to the rear seat space, if I grab this lever and pull it forward, this will fold forward, and then you can easily push the seat manually out of the way. Gives you a nice amount of space to enter into the rear seats. This is just a 4-seater vehicle. You can see what you have back here. 2 fabric seats with a little bit of space in the center. So then sitting in the back of this 2-door Jeep Wrangler, it's not too bad here. Of course, if you're really gonna use the back seats, you're gonna want the Unlimited, which has the full 4 doors. It's all right, you know, I'm 5'11". I do have plenty of headroom. If I go ahead and grab the seat and slide it and get it back into place, I actually get decent legroom. My knees are kind of hitting the seat. I have the seat set at my height, but it's doable back here. Not too crazy. Huge window though. The seats don't recline. They're a little straight up, but again, you know, in a pinch or something, it's not too bad. You do get a little bit of amenities like 2 climate control vents as well as 2 cup holders down below. And then there's storage on the back side of each of these seats, but you can easily grab that handle and get this out of the way to go ahead and climb out. And then moving on to the cargo area, if I grab this handle, we can swing out this rear gate. It goes all the way and locks nicely. You can manually grab the glass piece, open that up. It does have the hinge as well as gas struts. On the swing gate, you do get some specifications on the Wrangler. Pretty cool to see that for both 2-door and 4-door. And then back here, we get an upgraded speaker system. We got a nice sub in the back, right in the floor, but you can still grab this and lift it up. It reveals a little bit more of that. But then we have all the areas to put the bolts and hardware for the roof, the doors, and the hinges. So with this seat up, you don't get too much space back here. However, you could stack maybe 4 backpacks or duffel bags back here. So 4 people could probably do a quick little off-road trip. With that, you can just grab this center lever. It's gonna let these unlock and go forward. The headrest will automatically get out of the way. And then when this is down all the way, this will even go all the way up to reveal so much more storage space. Now, nothing's really holding that up, so it could kind of fall back and forth. However, this does make it pretty much the same space that you're gonna get in the 4-door Jeep. And then from there, if we go through the 1 door on the side, you can see how we get nice space right underneath that. But if I do push this down, you get somewhat of a flat area to put some extra cargo. All right, so setting off now in the Jeep Wrangler, we'll see what this is like to drive, 2-door and 4-cylinder, and then we'll flip around and get my opinions of it. So the first thing that's really cool you're gonna notice, the wheelbase is so small. This is such a small footprint of a vehicle. It is so easy to turn. This is so good off-road because it's got such that small footprint compared to the 4-door. I mean, you can just turn this like anything. It is so nice to turn around like that. So as far as normal getting up to speed, the turbo is peppy. It genuinely gets up to like 60 miles an hour without really stressing. It doesn't even need to redline. There's a lot of low end torque, and I actually like this engine a lot more than I was expecting. I've really only driven the V6. That's kind of the standard engine for these. That's what you see across the board, at least the most sold one. But this Turbo 4, I mean, honestly, that's a great way to go. Really efficient, and you get that torque, which is fun to play with. But normal ride quality going almost 55. It's a little noisy. I mean, you can hear the wind noise, the road noise. Visibility is really good. I mean, obviously this is a super short vehicle. I can almost touch the back glass. So it's pretty small, easy to see around. And I love how you can see the hood and everything. You can see the front fender. You can pinpoint this off-road. And of course, that is what this thing is about. This is an off-road focused vehicle. And you can tell it's so easy to off-road in a Jeep like this. Brakes do a pretty good job. We'll get up to some speed again from a standstill. And honestly, the 8-speed does a good job delivering the power to the wheels. It's pretty smooth. Shifts aren't crazy fast, but you know, it does the job. So it's a pretty good up-to-date power plant, I would say. Interior, you know, it looks pretty nice in here. It's nothing fancy like I mentioned, but pretty simple and easy to use. The steering is pretty vague. You know, when you turn the wheel, the front end then comes around. So obviously, you're sacrificing quite a bit of the on-road capabilities to have that insane off-road capability. But it's smooth enough, you know, it's good enough. And obviously, if you're buying a Jeep Wrangler, you know what you're getting. You're buying this on purpose, and you're willing to sacrifice those few on-road capabilities to get that crazy off-road. So then flipping around to this perspective to get my honest opinions, the turning circle is one of my favorite things. I'm full cranked. It is just so easy. And as we're hitting some bumps in the dirt and things like that, you just kind of get that smile to where you know this is an off-roader. You know you can hit the trails. I've off-roaded in stock Jeep Wranglers before, and even basic trim levels without any lock-in differentials, not even nice tires. These things are really good. So it's cool to at least go on a little gravel road just to kind of get our feet wet a little bit in this new Wrangler. Obviously can't go crazy with a brand new truck, but I really am impressed with the engine. Getting back up to some speed, really peppy. That's 45, not bad at all. So on-road capabilities, you are sacrificing. Right now we're on a really bumpy road, you know, taking a harder turn. It's a little not that good. It's not refined. Again, you know you're getting this when you're buying this, but it's crazy when you drive a Wrangler how unrefined it is. You feel the bumps, it's a little bit of a tank, it's a box on wheels basically. You know, the steering, you don't want to go too fast around a turn in one of these because it's just not stable. However, it's good enough. You know, the JL was a huge step up from the JK Wrangler, and they did a lot of tweaks to make this actually drive more normal. It still doesn't drive like a Grand Cherokee, obviously, or anything like that. But when you drive this, you know, it's stable enough, comfortable enough, and it's just so easy to maneuver. I think that's my favorite thing about it, especially the short wheelbase like this. It's hard to really have any downfalls or complaints with a car like this just because you know why you're sacrificing. You know why it's not that good on the road. It's because it has the off-road capabilities. Now, when you compare this to the Ford Bronco, that is its biggest competitor. You know, Jeep finally has a competitor with the new Ford Bronco. The Bronco does drive a lot better on road. It's a much smoother car, has independent front suspension to where it is just way better. Its steering's a little bit better as well. However, being independent front suspension, it can only do so much off-road. 95% of people probably can still do everything they want to do in the Bronco. However, it's for those extra 5% of people who want that solid front axle, who want to do crazy mods where you can just put massive tires, insane articulation, you know, solid axles is going to give you that. So the Wrangler still does have a benefit over the Bronco, mainly that front axle, and they seem to be decently reliable. You know, Ford has had a little bit of issues with some of the engines on the Broncos. And Jeep's not perfect, of course, but Jeep really does still give you such a great offer for this segment. So my overall opinions, if you want an off-roader, this and the Bronco, it really just depends. If you want extra comfort on road, get a Bronco. They're awesome off-road. I love them. If you want that extra off-road touch, that little bit extra, you know, articulation, get the Jeep because it does have that. But overall, Jeep Wrangler, super cool. This edition, the Willys edition, this color, pretty cool, you know, kind of a more simple trim level. Still kind of up there in price. You know, these things do hold a lot of money, and they hold their value pretty decent. So it is a little bit of a cost of entry to get into one of these, but not really much compares. So that is it then for this 2022 Jeep Wrangler. Hope you enjoyed the video. Big shout out and thank you to Feeney Chrysler Jeep Dodge and Ram for providing this Jeep for today's video. Take a look at their website linked below. They have a really large selection of brand new Jeeps, so check them out. If you enjoyed the video, give it a thumbs up and hit that subscribe button. Stay tuned for more content. I'll see you guys in the next video.